Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we've got a match review of Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspur. Let's get into it. So as you may know, Chelsea just beat Spurs 1-0 down to a Jorginho penalty coming in the 24th minute. Timo Werner drew the foul from Eric Dyer's hanging leg and we made a mess of it. We dominated in the first half. We should have had at least 2, maybe even 3 wrap the game out in the first half, but it's a recurring problem that happened under Frank Lampard that stopped us from wrapping up the game early, and it was a little bit shaky towards the end, but we got the win. Spurs came back in the second half with a lot more grit. They wanted the ball more. They wanted to win the second challenges. I don't know if they changed a lot in the midfield because they were really losing out in the midfield with Jorginho and Kovacic, but they ended up, I wouldn't say they deserved something just because they're first. I wouldn't say they deserved a point or anything just because of their first half performance. It was dreadful from them in the first half. It was dire, Eric Dyer. But Chelsea ultimately got the win, 3 points. Now we're only 4 points off Liverpool, which is saying something because they won the league. They got Klopp, the best manager in the world. They got Mo Salah. They got Sadio Mane. They got Thiago, one of the best signings of the summer. We're 4 points off you, and we just sacked our manager because he wasn't good enough. So Jorginho scored in the 34th minute, I'm pretty sure it was, and it was good work from Timo Werner in the box. I think he got played through. He controlled it, then lost out to Eric Dyer, then controlled it again, and Eric Dyer went down, and then tried to scramble for the ball, trying to win it back, and in doing so, clipped Timo Werner, who went down and won a penalty. I was thinking that Timo Werner was going to take the pen just to get some confidence back. I know he missed against Luton, but he scored many penalties before, and I thought he'd step up and take it, try it and bring back a goal to his game, restore the confidence in his boots, but instead it was Jorginho who stepped up, and my heart skipped a beat, because you know that little hop, skip and a jump thing he does? That he's missed recently. He's missed like 3 out of his last 7 penalties. It might even be 4. But he does the hop little skippy jump thing. But this time he didn't. He just went straight in for the kill, shot, and it went in, luckily for me. But my heart skipped a beat because I didn't see the hoppy skippy jump thing, and I petrified myself. I petrified myself? That does not sound good. I was petrified for one little split second. I thought he'd missed. I thought he'd messed up because he didn't do the hop little skippy jump thing. But it went in the back of the net. Lloris went the right way, but Jorginho put it so far in the corner that Lloris couldn't get a hand to it, and it was Chelsea 1, Spurs 0. So as for the lineups, Chelsea went out with a 3 at the back formation. No surprises there. I was fully expecting that. I wouldn't have been super. Actually, first, let me turn off my television. I wasn't super surprised with the 3 at the back formation. I think we all realised that. We went with the 2 in the middle with Jorginho and Kovacic, and then rather than Callum Hudson-Odoi at right wing back, it was Reece James getting his first start under Thomas Tuchel. Alonso kept his position at left wing back, and actually, as I just forgot, I didn't actually state the centre backs. We went Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, and Antonio Rudiger. No Zuma, he was out injured, but in like the 30th, 40th minute, probably at the 35th minute, Thiago Silva pulled his hamstring after doing some sort of bicycle kick clearance. It was brilliant defending, but he pulled his hamstring, and I know he's just doing a really good job for the team, but he's got to realise that he's 36 and he might have been able to make those flying challenges maybe 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, but he's 36 now. He needs to be wary of his age, and we can't afford to lose him. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. Hopefully not too long, because he's an integral part to our defence. At number 10, in the number 10 role, we had Mason Mount. It was kind of difficult to tell whether we went out with the number 10 and 2 strikers, or a striker and 2 wingers. But I think it was like a Mason Mount in number 10, and Timo Werner and Callum Hudson-Odoi playing as a striker, but both were quite wide. Neither were very central, and it wasn't like a playing off each other strike partnership. It was more just like playing behind and trying scrape back to the other one in the box. Tell me what you think. Do you think we went out with the 10-2 strikers, or a striker and 2 wingers in Mason Mount and Hudson-Odoi, and then Werner, an out-and-out striker? So now onto the player ratings. In goal, Edouard Mendy. Let me just check, because I wrote all these down this time. Rather than doing them off the spot, just randomly, I wrote them all down. Edouard Mendy, I'd give an 8. He came up with a pretty clutch save for Eric Lamela towards the end, like 85th minute. It wasn't too troubling. He didn't have much of a troublesome game, but Chelsea ultimately gave away their first shots on target under the Thomas Tuchel era. And Edouard Mendy was up to the task to keep another clean sheet. That's 3 clean sheets in a row. Now on to Cesar Azpilicueta. I'd give him an 8. He calm under some points in time, other points not too bad, but he wasn't great, but he wasn't awful. In the middle, Thiago Silva was great yet again in the first 20-30 minutes, but then tried to like Bicey clearance it. It was a very good clearance, but ended up pulling his hamstring. Hopefully he's not out for too long because he's very commanding and integral to our defence. Christensen came onto him. I'd probably give Thiago Silva a 7 just because he was good, but he didn't really have much time to really prove it. Christensen, who came on for him in his place, I'd give an 8. He was good. I thought he might mess up, be a bit shaky, but similarly to Rudiger, Tuchel seems to be eradicating simple mistakes leading into goals. And at Rudiger, I'd give a 7. If I give Christensen 8, I'd probably give Rudiger an 8. He had a shot that probably could have gone in. He had a few chances. He kept going forwards, which is something that I guess you should see from a left centre back, but not too much. Right wing back Reece James, I'd give a 7, maybe an 8. He didn't influence the game as much as I hope he would, but we got the goal. He kept Heung-min Son in his back pocket. He had him easily. Didn't trouble Chelsea at all that game. Marcos Alonso wasn't as good as he was against Burnley. Didn't get a goal. He had a chance as well himself, but it was on his right foot. It was up in the air. I'd probably give him a 7 as well, so I've written down. Into the midfield partnership with Kovacic and Jorginho, I'd give them both 8s. Kovacic was once again very good, something we haven't seen under Lampard, him driving forwards. Jorginho also had a very good game. I think Chelsea are trying to renew his contract for a reason, because he's starting to show why he's so good. N'Golo Kante also came on. I'd probably give him a 7. Lost out, got a yellow card. Not really his fault, but I guess he wasn't quite ready to be thrown right into the deep end in a game that we really needed a win. In the number 10 role at Cam, Mason Mount, I'd give a 9. He got man of the match in the end. Very good performance from him again, running into the spaces. And Kai Havertz is going to really need to step up his training if he wants to get a sniff in this first team. Callum Hudson-Odoi, I'd probably give an 8 as well. He didn't take the game the game to the scruff of his neck, its neck, as I thought he would. He didn't really have much of an influential game as he has against Burnley or Wolves, but he still had a good performance nonetheless, playing as a striker/winger. Timo Werner, I'd give a 7. He had a few chances again, missed both of them. Pulisic, who came on for it was for Callum, wasn't it? Yeah, I'd probably give him a 7 as well. Not of an influential performance, dropping a bit deeper, but I'll take that because it ended up giving us the win. Chelsea's next game is against Sheffield United, who had a terrible start. It was a dire start to the season for Sheffield United after a very impressive campaign last season. No pressure on them. This season there was a little bit of pressure for them to try and do the same thing that they did last season, but they had 2 points in like 18 games. But after snatching a win against Newcastle, sneaking a win against Manchester United, and then they beat West Brom the other day. They're only 1 point off West Brom as of currently recording, and they're still at the bottom, but they're on some good form. They only lost to Manchester City, who are all the way at the top by 1-0. They obviously beat Manchester United in that upset, so they're on a good run of form. Chelsea can't underestimate them. Thomas Tuchel can't underestimate them, but I still think with them going with the 3 at the back formation, I don't think they'll be able to play Ampadu because he's on loan from Chelsea. He's one of their better defenders this season. I think Chelsea will be able to come out on top just because the wing backs will compensate for their width, and without Ampadu they'll have to go with, I don't know, John Egan. Does he play anymore? He was good last season, not so good this season I don't think. However, Aaron Ramsdale's been on awful form all season, but as of recently against West Brom especially, he was very good. I didn't watch the game, I saw the highlights, but he pulled off some very good saves to keep Sheffield United in it, and then they ended up winning it through Billy Sharp's goal. That is all for today. Thank you very much for watching. Comment your thoughts on the game down below. Make sure you like if you enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos, subscribe. I'm trying to do at least 1 Chelsea video per day, if not 2. Tomorrow there will be a career mode episode 3 of the new beginning, the RTG, the Chelsea FC FIFA 21 career mode RTG, uploading tomorrow at 9 AM, so be sure you don't miss out on that. Also, a news video coming out about lunchtime-ish, 12 o'clock to 1 PM, I still don't know. Thank you very much for watching and goodbye.